Welcome to another exciting episode of As the Stomach Turns. I mean, you must be joking.
Wah! Right?
Anyhow, no, the good news I was actually talking about was we've actually got more listeners. I mean, it's actually come way up.
People are listening?
Yeah.
They want to hear me fuck up and you tell the truth.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. They want to hear you tell the truth and me fuck up.
Right. Anyway, so all of those out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome. If you're new to the show, he's Gary. I'm Veg.
And you can always call us 253-254-6664 and join the conversation.
You can always call us a couple of jerks. You'll be right on it. Yes, totally. Call
no,
in.
you would fit the jerk thing. Me, I'm the idiot.
Yeah, hey, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, I would go with
Jay and I
go savant, idiot, idiot, savant, right?
Anyway,
I'm a whole bunch of idiot savant. Just forget about the savant thing.
Yeah, anyhow, we were talking just a minute ago about the
idiocy of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and
giving power back to the people. What are they thinking? Do they not have access to social media? Can they not see how?
No, that's why they do it.
Infantile we are.
That's why they're doing it, because see, now we're going to go ahead and screw up so bad they're going to take it back, and we're going to want them to do it, and then they've got more control.
I see that everywhere. I see that.
Yeah.
Everyone crying, you can't give us our freedom. It's like, oh, God, serfs are just so programmed.
Freedom, what are we going to do with that? You know, yeah.
Give it back to the state. But, no, it's actually, it's the three decisions they made last week really give the power back to the people. It throws it away from the federal government to individual states, which means that, you know, get off your lazy butt and go vote now for someone that has the same ideals as you. Doesn't matter if we think the same. Vote for the person who's, you know, because that's what happens when you have the power. It gives it back to the state, which means that we have more power to control what's going on in government.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't understand why they're doing it right now. It's just like, So
here is one of the reasons why they're doing it. You can't blame us.
Well, you really can't, because I mean, there's three arms of government. There's the legislative, the executive, and the judicial, and there's a reason they're in that order. Because legislative makes laws, the executive says, well, it's a good law, I can veto it or not, and the judicial says, is it constitutional?
Right.
And right now they've decided that for the past however long, there's been a lot of unconstitutional things going on. They're just like, we're just going to go ahead and start over. And so now all these women that are screaming, oh, I can't kill my baby. It's just like, you can if you go to a state that still allow it. I understand there were a lot of trigger laws for 12 or 13 states that made it illegal, but it's still, like in Portland, they had the huge protest in Portland. And it's like, you know, in Oregon, it's still okay to go ahead and go to your doctor and say, I need this out of me. So Portland was probably the wrong place. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter where you protest, if you're protesting, but it's funny that you're protesting to give away your rights.
Yeah, it's ridiculous either way you look at it. You know, I mean, anymore, I'm feeling that protests are just to protest something. They don't care what. They just want to protest.
It used to be for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like when they were stopping wars or at least trying to end aggression.
Yeah.
It was for a reason. But now it's just like,
you know,
I'm going to put a vagina hat on and be all, woman.
Yeah, you know, the civil rights. I mean, I understand the protests there, and I would have joined in. In fact,
we did.
I
have.
Yeah. But as far as a lot of the stuff that they've been protesting over the last 3 years especially, it's about as asinine as anything can be, you know. In fact, a mule is less of an ass than these people that are protesting.
I know, that's another thing. Isn't it funny that the mascot of the Democrats is a jackass?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the elephant is, except for being a fat cat,
A glutton.
money in the pocket kind of thing.
Yeah, greed,
glutton.
glutton.
And then the jackass for the Democrats, and it's funny because Republicans will tell you, hey, we're gonna try and make a ton of money, and this trickle down economic thing is, if you're smart enough, you might get a little of it. Where the Democrats are like, we're doing everything for you. Give us your money and we'll do everything for you, and they're not doing a damn thing.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, Republicans are garbage, but Democrats are even worse.
Well, I don't know. I think the Democrats are actually the garbage, and the Republicans are more like a compost heap. They are useful eventually,
Well,
to a point.
Well, no, they're useful to their
Yeah.
cronies and their elitists, and trickle down economics. If you're smart enough to get in on the thing, then
Yeah.
maybe you can get a little bit of what we're. But at least see, the Republicans are honest. We're taking everything. We're making money for ourselves. Where the Democrats are like, we're doing everything for you, and they're not.
No.
So the dishonest party, and then the reprehensibly honest party.
Now, on the flip side of that, there was a vote in the House. I think it happened Friday, or it was sometime this week, that went through to a vote, and it was about blocking the price gouging on gas prices.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and where every one of the Republicans voted against it, and almost all of the Democrats voted for it.
Well, here's why the Republicans voted against it, because they're trying to kickstart our fossil fuel industry again.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking it was because of the way it was written.
Well, there is that, because you got to look at all these bills, because they always got these caveats and these dog ears, and it's like this one sentence is for the thing that they said, but these 9 other paragraphs are for completely different things that sometimes aren't even related.
Yeah,
It's just
page 1 is about that, but
Yeah.
the other 500 pages are about everything else.
This page is about price gouging, and these 9 pages are about, well, we're going to take the money and put it into Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're going to help build all kinds of green energy sources outside of the United States.
Oh, and I've also found out that in order to make news, the news media will do some of the stupidest and most worthless surveys.
Well, yeah.
Just to, okay, for an example.
They're going to take a poll around the office.
These 10,000 people we asked.
Well, if I was to come up to you and ask you, and anybody out there, what or do you believe that the increase in gas prices is affecting your life in any way?
I mean, of course it is.
Okay.
Of course
Now,
it
you
is.
see, you used the word or the phrase, of course. I used, well, duh, because I'm sorry, but, I mean, from $3 a gallon to $6 a gallon, that hurts.
Yeah.
Okay. Where I used to fill up my tank for $60, now it's $120.
Well, look, gas has almost doubled. Food prices have gone up at least 60%.
Yeah.
Wages have not increased. So, yes, everyone's affected by the
Yeah.
stupidity of us
And yet-
feeding money to the war machine.
And yet they had the Yahoo News, I believe it was, actually did a survey. They surveyed people and asked them, and only 81% said yes. I was surprised that they said 81%. 99.1 maybe. Because of that 1%.
Well, when you ask 10 executives, is this affecting you? Well, I don't even know if I buy gas. I might ask my driver,
Yeah.
So, of course, they're not being affected.
Yeah, that was the 0.1, or 0.9, I should say. But yeah, it's ridiculous because of course it's affecting us. I mean, it affects everything.
It's all by design.
Yeah, and you get a gallon of gas, like the cheapest I've been able to find right now is $4.75 a gallon around here.
Okay.
and a lot of others are still at 5.25, 5.30, something like that. Now, at the same station where it's 4.75, the diesel is 6.15.
if not more.
Yeah, well, I'm saying at that one station, 6.15 for diesel. Now, this is a byproduct from making gasoline.
Yeah, before you refine it to actually make regular and
Yeah,
supreme.
So, of course,
But that shows you how dumb the American population
well,
is.
there you go. But the
Sorry, I'm part of the American population. So.
but it just goes to figure that that's going to if the diesel stays high like that, then the truckers have to pay for, and the trucking companies have to pay for all this fuel, and their fuel now has gone up twice as much,
Yeah,
or more.
And imagine how much maintenance has gone up on those vehicles.
Yeah, and then they turn
and
around.
if they can keep increasing the price to the point where delivery agencies, trucking companies can't perform their duties, then of course we're all going to starve to death.
Yeah, but of course, because their fuel has doubled or more than doubled in the last couple of years, then the prices are going to double, because they have to be able to afford to fix their trucks. They have to be able to pay for the licensing. They have to be able to pay for their permits,
Well, yeah.
and all this, which is also increased.
Yeah, everything goes up.
Yeah, and then if
exponentially sometimes.
yeah, and then when they have to pay that extra, then it trickles down to us, and we have to help them pay for it. So if their cost goes up twice, then so does the shipping companies, and then so does ours. And people don't understand that. So we need to actually get on the podium, and let them know, that, hey, this is unacceptable. True, the prices are coming down, but they'll never come back down unless we force them.
Listen,
they'll never come back down to where they
the only way we're
should
going to
be.
get America back is if we get rid of the two parties that are sitting in the government right now.
Well,
Short of dropping a bomb on the White House and the Senate when they're actually all there and we know they're all there, nothing's going to change.
Yeah,
a couple people going in and out here and there, nothing's going to change. Look at AOC. She's gone from being I'm fighting for the people to I'm lying to the people while I'm getting rich. She's learned that quick how to be a politician.
Yeah.
But people still cheer her on. Oh, she's the new hero. No, she's not. She's the next Nancy Pelosi. You get, and it's going to take you 65 years to see it, and that's what's most disgusting. I think they need to bring civics back, and if they don't bring it back, then they should make it mandatory for anyone at home to teach their kids about civics. You need to learn about the Constitution. You need to learn about the law. You need to learn about the three branches of government and how to utilize it in our favor.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. Now
I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, no, but it's true. I mean, we really got to make some serious changes. And the downside is, even if you did nuke all of Washington, D.C., when they're in session, you're still not going to get them, because half of them are usually on vacation somewhere.
Well, if you can get it when let's say 90%, let's say 500 of them, 500 of the 545 are in there, and you get them, you still haven't got
right.
city councils, mayors, probably not that guy that's really running shit in your city. So it's hard to say just taking out the two-party system is going to change things for the better.
Yeah. And it actually won't, because it would create even more chaos.
But if we get rid of all the
However,
people that have been in there for longer than 12 years.
Yeah, and there is the vote.
I mean, burn them at the stake in the district that they're supposed to represent so that people know we're serious. Bring back the guillotine. I mean, we if we don't, all they understand is greed and violence. So if we don't start voting with our dollar and or become as violent as they are, then nothing's going to change. And I would rather vote with your dollar and your common sense than go to violence. That's just me, though.
Yeah, but you're wrong as far as what you believe that they only understand. I do believe they have a bigger understanding than just greed and violence.
Yeah.
I also believe that manipulation, dishonesty, and trickery, theatrics.
And that can all be tied into greed and violence.
Which also go into fear.
Yeah, greed and violence. Violence is fear.
No, fear is a byproduct of the threat of violence.
No, fear.
Usually
fear
when-
is the catalyst for 90% of violence.
Okay, but fear is not a product of violence. Fear is a product of the threat of violence a lot of times. But once the violence happens, that's when people step up and attack.
Okay, you said I'm wrong. You're wrong. No, fear is not the threat of violence. Fear can bring on violence, and fear can make you run away. Fear can make you change your mind about the most logical stuff just because you're so afraid of the peer pressure. Fear is the catalyst for a lot of things, but it is definitely not the byproduct of violence.
Well, yeah, I am a little different than a lot of guys. Well, okay, I'm a lot different than a lot, but yeah. Because peer pressure was never something I was too worried about.
Well, you know,
But
there's always exceptions to every rule, but that doesn't mean it's good or bad.
yeah, well, I never said I was smart.
Yeah, well,
Who knows? I might have been president if I would have succumbed to peer pressure.
if you got $2 billion, you can be president.
Yes.
All it is a money race,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then it's a popularity contest
Well,
because Trump bought his own presidency,
yeah.
and then they said, "Oh my God, he is not one of us. Hate and fear him." And the funny part is that they still need us to hate and fear him to this day.
because they're afraid he's going to come back on the next one.
Well, even if he doesn't come back, somehow he's got power to pull strings to make stuff go wrong for them.
Yeah.
And them is technically both parties. Because remember when he was in office, before he went in, he's like, I'm going to drain that swamp. And like 20, 30 people that were in his cabinet went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
That's draining the swamp. They're like, hey, you want to work for Trump? Hell no, I got skeletons, bro. I don't want to be part of the drain, So in my opinion, he did good because the people that needed to be gone were starting to go away. But for some reason, the easily influenced American people by the media didn't see that he was helping us.
Yeah.
And
Well-
I can understand that because I don't like Trump. I don't like him. But I have lots of reasons not to like him, and none of them have to do with his presidency, mean tweets, or grabbing him by the pussy. None of it.
Well, I just don't like Trump because of who he is and what he is. As far as his politics, not really. Don't care. As far as him draining the swamp, hey, the ones that are gone, we didn't have to vote out.
Yeah, I'll take term limits any way I can get them.
Yeah.
When's Bernie
So-
Sanders going to die? Did I say that out loud?
Any minute now.
God, we can hope.
But that's all we really need to do is just vote them out and don't let them vote on whether or not they get term limits or not. They did it to the president, so let's go ahead and force them to do the same.
I
You
wish
know,
we
can
could get
bypass it.
38 states on board with making term limits because there's the House, the Senate, and then the presidency. So let's say the House is 2 years. Is that why they have everything? Because the presidency's 4 years, Senate I think is 6 years. I don't know what the House. I can't remember.
I think the House is the same as the Senate.
Okay, well, let's give the House 3 terms. Let's give the Senate 2 terms. Let's give the presidency 2 terms. And you can only progress up. You can never regress. So you can start here and move your way up, but you can't ever go back. And you get an hourly wage that is
Based on minimum wage?
based on the minimum wage in the district that you're supposed to represent. Because that way you work harder for your district to bring everybody up.
Yeah, good point. He's got my vote. What do you think?
I will fight strongly for both sides, but I must take a firm stand in the middle.
Veg for president
I will never-
in that golden toilet seat.
I will never confirm nor refute alleged allegations against me, any of my associates, anyone in my administration, or even my constituents.
If elected, when sworn in, the first thing I'm going to do is demand a recount.
And if I was ever elected, the first thing I would want to do is flush. Yeah. But anyway,
See, that's something fun. I mean, what if I became tyrannical immediately? So I come in, I call a meeting, and I saw everyone is in there, and so I phone in a fucking strike, and then I resign. Start over, people. Now what are you gonna do?
well, there you go. Now, there's a lot of things we could do as individuals and as a country, and all we got to do is get people to, get off their butts and off their phones and off their computers long enough to do it.
Well, the hard part is the uniting.
Yeah.
Because we are the United States in name only. We are so freaking divided by every single little facet that they can divide us by. We need to see through the bullshit. We need to start figuring out that they do not have our best interests in heart.
Well, I think a lot of us have figured it out, but most people are just too lazy to.
Is it because they're too lazy or they're too complacent? Is lazy and complacency the same thing?
Close, but not quite. But yeah.
Because I mean, I say complacent, and they're complacent, they're compliant, and they're fine with the status quo. If they weren't, things would be different, right? Because every time the majority are tired of something, it stops, or at least it's diverted from our attention. Like the Vietnam War, they put it on TV, and everyone's like, "Holy crap, that's disgusting! We need to stop it." So instead of stopping war, they stopped putting it on TV until the next one where we were actually winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look, a military that has no navy and has no chance of attacking us. Let's go get them.
And we're all just cheering, "Yay, bunker busters!"
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of.
I'm anti-abortion, but damn it, that bomb going off in that church over there in the Middle East was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Now, if anybody else would like to pitch in on this, feel free. Here's the phone number. Give us a call, 253-254-6664, and let yourself be heard. Okay?
Yeah, bring it in.
Yeah, because, we're serious about this. I mean, you guys, you guys have the intelligence and the drive. You should be willing to kick in and let yourself be heard and then act on it.
And your opinion is way more important than ours, because we're just sitting here talking back and forth trying to be funny. But if you've got something to say, we want to hear it. We want to know what you think. Tell me what you think about the Supreme Court's decision. I can't remember the someone versus the EPA. That is going to be a game changer if we use the power that the Supreme Court has given back to us like true Americans.
Now, I do want to correct you on one thing, though. We're not just sitting here trying to be funny. You're sitting here trying to be funny. I actually am funny.
I'm not even trying. You can tell it just don't come to me anymore. I'll tell you, man, the other week I went to go do it. I was invited to go do a show, and it was an open mic, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try some new stuff, and I thought, I'm gonna pull a George Carlin and do political stuff. And then when I got there, I started drinking a little bit. And a little bit turned into a lot of bit, and when they said, "Hey, you're up," I'm just like, "Hey," on stage. Just, oh my god, it was horrible. Never practice, never get drunk. It was one of the bad sets, and I loved it. It was great. It was shown live too.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep thinking about going and trying it again, because I enjoyed it, but I just ain't got the time, especially right now,
Yeah, well,
so
I got all kinds of time to do nothing.
Yeah. But anyway, and then we were also talking about dogs and animals and how they react to fireworks.
You like dags?
I love dogs, especially this one.
Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes they're scared of them. Sometimes they're just like whatever. Because I've had both types, because I've rescued a lot of dogs, and I don't know how to calm them down when they're like because you can't just train them to not fear bombs going off.
Yes. Well, it's like Shinzo here. I mean, I can watch a movie, with all kinds of gunfire and everything else, and it doesn't bother him a bit. He just doesn't pay any attention. If I play solitaire, and you get to a new level and everything, it shoots off the fireworks, he starts looking for some place to go. If the fireworks are on television, it doesn't bother him. But if we're outside and something goes off, man, he's trying to get back in the house right now. And we've been getting so many here lately. This is just about as far away from me as he's gotten. And, so, that's one reason why he's here. And he tries to get underneath the coffee table a lot of times. And yet I had a Belgian Shepherd and Collie mix. And, and that dog loved fireworks. You'd take a firecracker, you'd throw it, and he'd go after it and everything. Rah, 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 rah,
He's got a punk in his mouth lighting his own.
Just about
firing at you.
Yeah, if you shoot a bottle rocket, especially to kind of go pop at the end and everything. Oh, he loved that, man. He'd chase after those. You had to keep him away from the big stuff because he would try and get them. But the whole time his tail.
No.
Yeah, he wants to be a lapdog so bad.
He is a lap dog. Look at this little puppy. Yeah, so I had a pit bull that was 140 pounds. He was about your size, but he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the little snappers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, running, hiding in the bathtub. It's crazy. And then I had this little dog, a little bit bigger than a Chihuahua, but it was a Chihuahua pit bull mix. It was weird. And that thing, like your dog, it wanted to light the fireworks and then hand them to you. It was just like, hey, these are awesome. Let's do this. Blow off in my mouth. I'm good with it. She's like, so, and I couldn't get the one dog to not be afraid, and I couldn't get the other dog to not go after them and put them in the mouth. I was like, how do you stop this?
Yeah, with Big, I had to get him to where, he'd just, no, you get over there, and I'd make him stay, over there while we lit it, and the whole time he's,
anxious, ready to go.
Yeah, you stay there because we're lighting an M80, and I know, you don't go in the face,
because the dog I have now, he sleeps through everything. The one big one went off maybe the other day, and he kind of, and that was about it.
Yeah, I wish he could do that.
And this guy, he'll be what we think is a dead sleep, and he'll just sit up and start barking. And it's like, okay, what's going on? And you look, and there's someone down the street walking a dog. And like, what, you heard that when you were sleeping?
He'll do the same thing, we'll be up there in our room and everything, laying down, and he'll do just like that, and then you'll hear him, and I'll get up and everything, and I'll come on downstairs and look out. Sure enough, there's some old lady with walking a dog, or some guy going by on a bicycle. If he starts barking really loud, especially if I'm laying down or whatever, and he starts to bark a lot for no apparent reason, it's because the cats are outside trying to get him to come out and chase them.
Nice.
So, when the weather gets really bad, I don't let him out too much because he tracks in a lot of mud, and the cats take it personally. We'll end up with 6 or 8 cats right in the front yard going around by the windows, and he's it's funnier than heck.
Internet service. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I've had a friend that had lots of cats, and I've never seen them mention anything about cats being afraid of fireworks. I think they're already indifferent to life in general, so they probably don't care.
Yeah, they figure they got 9. Why worry?
Nope. Sorry, buddy.
Go on, lay down. Thank you.
Platz. He's like, are you speaking my language? Sitzen, Platz. Was ist los, Scheiße?
Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs, sieben. All die Mädchens muss man lieben.
See how you are?
Yeah.
We're not in love. So yeah, anything else? What you got, man? Come on, bring it.
Well,
I'm still excited about all the SCOTUS work, and what's really funny is how people are trying to I don't know how to phrase this properly, but they're just like they're showing when Trump and Hillary were having their debate, and Trump was talking about, yeah, well, if I get enough SCOTUS on here, we're going to overturn Roe v. Wade just like that. And it's like, and then Hillary's like, no, this is a constitutional right. And I commented, well, look, one told the truth and the other one lied. Guess which one did what? And people are just so mad. That's a constitutional right they took away. And it's like, no. Abortion was never a constitutional right because it was never ratified.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes 38 states, or 32 or 38 states, to ratify any amendment to the Constitution, because monkey nuts Joe Biden is correct that, nothing is permanent in the Constitution, but tyrannical lawmakers cannot change it at their will. It actually takes ratification from 32 or 38 states. It actually takes the power of the people, which was given back to us by the SCOTUS. Do you understand what happened? Do you? I don't think many people do.
Well, probably not. But
it all goes back to civics.
Yeah.
Frank Zappa, he was correct.
Well,
As soon as our government murdered people in Ohio, they took civics out of class because too many people were realizing, hey, the Constitution protects us, not them, and they don't want us to know that.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to anyway.
Well,
if you read it the way it's written,
if you
then
read
yes.
it the way it's written, it's a contract between the people and the government.
Right.
And what it does is it limits government power.
Right.
And if you want more power, you have to ask the people.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So when you vote me in as president and everything, just make sure the other 37 states get along with you and everything, so we can all play nice together, and then we'll make the changes we need.
Yeah, we'll see. That's if 12 to 13 states. I wonder if it is 38, because that's why 12 had trigger laws. Because that leaves the chance for abortion to become a constitutional right, which is disgusting, but whatever. I mean, we love bombing other countries anyway.
Well, everybody's got coat hangers. Just watch where you sit if you want to keep your child.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, back before it was constitutional right, it was only available to the rich. And so now, if it was actually ratified to be completely illegal at all times, it would just be something the rich do.
No.
This is empty. This is no good.
One of the reasons that they started, because it used to be nationally, pretty much, it was you couldn't get an abortion from an actual doctor. They refused to do it. Most of them, could go to jail or get fined or whatever.
Yes, which was
right.
why it was left to the rich, because it could be in secret.
Right. But even the poor was doing it in secret, and that's what was causing so many illnesses. So many women got sterilized.
Well, yeah, because they were doing it improperly, without training or minimum training, and they were like, "Oh, I know what to do."
But they would all hire these quack alcoholic doctors to do it and everything in unsterile conditions.
Show me a doctor that's not a drug addict or an alcoholic. Anesthesiologists, because they know.
Well, I don't know about any of them today, but I do know that there were 2 doctors when I was young that were actually clean.
In your presence.
Nope, because Dr. Weiland, he was actually a teetotaler. He thought that anything that altered your thoughts in any way killed brain cells, and he hated that whole idea.
He's probably right.
And he wouldn't touch it even at a party. He wouldn't take a drink, And then I think the other doctor's name was Stevens or Stevenson or something like that, and he was a naturopath, and he thought anything that was not natural or that altered the mind should be banned.
Mushrooms are natural.
Pot.
Tobacco is natural.
No.
Marijuana is natural.
By the time you get tobacco, it's already got all kinds of crap put in it.
If you pick a leaf and you chew it, that's tobacco right in your face.
Yeah.
If you take a cocoa leaf and you chew it and put it right in your face, that's natural.
But by the time, if you buy a pack of cigarettes, that ain't natural.
Oh no, that's
because by the time
that's even in Butler's Pall Malls, that's garbage.
Yeah, even by the time you get it and everything, they've got so much other crap thrown in there, to make it even more addicting, to make it more harmful, the whole nine yards. Yeah.
And the way the cigarette doesn't go out, because if you grow your own marijuana and you roll a joint and you smoke it and you put it in the ashtray and you forget about it for a few minutes, it goes out. You light a cigarette, you take a couple drags, put on a cigarette, you get busy, you come back, that cigarette burned all the way down to the butt. Now you got to light another one.
Not anymore.
Oh yeah.
No, they've changed the cigarettes to where by the halfway point they usually snuff out. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Well,
but then again, I don't smoke.
yeah. Well, when was the last time you had a cigarette? You used to smoke, right?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Huh, okay. Well, yeah, because that would be about the
But
time.
don't ask me why.
Yeah. Well, chances are you just kept on smoking it anyway. So.
Oh no,
I just burn it for the ash.
people that know.
But yeah, we they started doing that. It was a California thing to begin with, and because of all the wildfires and everything, they were blaming on cigarettes. No, the funny part is, have you noticed that even though so many people have quit smoking, there are still a lot of wildfires all over the place. In fact, they've increased.
Well,
Now, when
it's
I
getting
was
warmer and drier.
Yeah,
That their
now-
global warming thing,
but when I was young,
and they're running out of water in California. Put them fires out.
when I was young, every once in a while it would be because somebody didn't put out a campfire, right? Or
But
or
when
they
you
would
were
toss a
young,
cigarette.
they had the federal funding to actually take care of the forests, as opposed to these days when they got those shithead tree huggers out there going, yeah, and now these forest fires run unabated because there's actually been nothing taken care of in the forest.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me finish here,
No.
because this is the point. Okay. Every once in a while, you would hear about somebody throwing a cigarette out the window and it would start a fire. Every once in a while, you would get somebody not putting out their campfire properly, and that would start the fire. Okay, this kind of thing. The majority of it was from pop bottles or beer bottles being broken, and then the sun hitting the glass, and it would start a wildfire. Lightning strikes, power lines dropping, which still happens a lot in California. This kind of thing. But the cigarettes wasn't the biggest issue. It
Well, it's
wasn't.
because it's a lie.
Yeah.
You can throw a cigarette in a liquid gasoline and it won't light it on fire.
Oh yeah, because the gas itself isn't what's burning; it's the fumes.
Because it takes a spark. Cigarettes don't make a spark.
Well, they do if you throw them hard.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, that's not a spark. That's an ember.
Only if it comes out in a big chunk.
And that still won't light a fire.
Nah, I've never been able to light
they,
gas
they,
with one.
they blame what they can to get the majority on their side. And what's sad is that the ignorance of the majority allows them to do these stupid things.
Well, yeah, you might have a point there. Let's take the might out of that. Anyhow, now anybody else want, like I said before, if you want to join the conversation, actually, we do still have it, but if you guys want to actually join the conversation, feel free.
Do it.
253.
We dare you.
254.
We double dare you.
6664.
We triple dirty dog dare you. But of those three, only Nestle is the one that's actively trying to privatize water. Coke and PepsiCo are just like, hey, we're going to buy that for a penny for 10 billion gallons and sell it for $1 for 16 ounces. So.
Yeah.
And we're just like, yes, that's the way to do it.
No. I would still like us to be able to get it to where it was easy enough to drink out of the river again, or I mean,
Yeah, it is if you go high enough in the hills.
well, it doesn't even matter.
But then again, as we lose all of our snow caps and all of our glaciers, that's going to end too.
Yeah, well,
If we don't start
you
with
can-
the
you can still-
desalination, we're going to be screwed.
you can still, and I will, and do, if I go up into the mountains far enough and everything, away from the roads enough, then I will drink out of a stream or a river, as long as it's a shallow, and it has to be fast-moving water over, and it's got to be really shallow over rocks and sand.
I just use purification pills. That way I don't have to worry if it's moving fast or slow.
Yeah,
As long
but
as there's no sludge on top of it, I'm just like, just purification pill, boil, drink.
yeah. See, I don't even do that. Man. It tastes so much better when you can just dip it out and drink it because it's actually sweet, and it has a good flavor to it. Yes, water that's not treated in any way is sweet. I mean, it's very, very, very good.
I don't know. I had some glacier water in Alaska. It wasn't sweet. It was very nice and clean and good, but not sweet.
Yeah. It's got a sweet taste to it if it's out in a nice stream.
That must be why they add sugar to bottled water then.
Well, I don't know about others, but ours, it's not sugar that they add.
They add sweeteners. And if you look at the chart that says this much sugar is in all these drinks, bottled water is in there with a little bit of sugar in it.
Well, some of the flavored waters maybe, but like where I work, okay, they do add minerals for flavor because they have to. It's been purified, distilled, or whatever.
Osmosis.
Yeah, and so they have to add something, otherwise your body won't absorb it, and all
I
you'll
bet
do
you
is piss it out.
In that little conglomerate of whatever they're adding, I bet there's a sweetener of some sort.
But they do use baking soda. Yeah.
So they're getting ready to cook crack? What's going on?
No, but you got to have something in there, or your body cannot absorb it and use it. I mean, you can drink enough to drown, and still die of thirst, because the water is too pure, and your body can't absorb it and use it. So all you end up doing is peeing it out.
I'm going to call bullshit.
No, I'm serious.
I bet you are.
Any doctors out there that would like to call,
Ain't no doctors watching this show.
okay,
Except maybe Gavorkian.
but anybody that actually has any clue about the truth, has studied this kind of stuff, call up and back me up or refute it. Either one. 253-254-6664. But that's why they have to add the minerals to the purified water, is because you can die of thirst even though you've been drinking enough to drown, because your body can't absorb it and use it. If you get really thirsty, then use some kind of an electrolyte or a salt. Put a little bit of salt in there, just enough to to make it to where it can be absorbed by your system. Otherwise, all you're going to do is pee it out.
Disagree.
Look it up.
Disagree.
Because I've been told that twice by two different doctors.
I see.
Because I tell them that the water I drink is usually boiled, and it is the hot water, because it replaced my coffee when I tried to quit smoking. And and I said, pretty much all I do is piss a lot. And they go, yeah, if it's too pure and it doesn't have anything in there, then your body can't use it, and it'll just pass through. Yeah. So
that's the very first time I've heard that.
So I have decided that truly the most effective way to absorb your water is to add coffee or beer.
I'll just go with Jameson. I mean, I already like it to be sweet, so might as well just drink sugar water.
Yeah, I can't drink that stuff no more.
I can't drink it no less.
You see the bottom lip quiver?
Mm-hmm. I've got 4 half-gallons left, and then I have to go shopping again.
Well,
that's like 3 days of alcohol.
I still got the majority of a 30-pack up here on the counter, and then 2 in the fridge for you.
Hi, how you doing? I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous. Oh, there's nothing anonymous about this. Everyone knows who I am.
Yeah, well, guess what?
They're in here.
Yeah, they are.
I see them. Get some strange-looking cans, bro.
I am not an alcoholic, though, and I can prove it. I am just a drunk because I've never gone to any of those meetings.
I'm absolutely an alcoholic. I've gone to those meetings because I've gone to the ones that have the free breakfasts. I ain't stupid. Coffee and a donut? Sure. What's your name? Hi, I'm...
And if you would like to refute his last comment, please call him.
If you want to not pretend that you know more than me and actually say that you do and show me that you do, I'm all for it. I don't mind being told I'm wrong. And I'm allowed to change my mind anytime I want.
You should be used to it by now.
I don't get told very often, so I'm not.
Well, this is, episode 32, so you've had at least 32 weeks of being told you're wrong,
Only by you.
Well, who else's
That
opinion
doesn't mean
matters?
anything. That's like me telling you you're right. Thank you for the accolations, but woo.
Point made.
Here we are. So, yeah. Bro, I'm still in shock that the SCOTUS thought that the people of this country had enough clarity of mind to heap that responsibility on our shoulders.
We're back there again. Okay.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I can't believe that people are just like, oh, the SCOTUS are horrible people. It's like, when they say that, it's just like, oh, well, you obviously don't understand, number one, what they did, number two, what freedom is, number three, how you're supposed to vote.
Well, and 2 and 3 mostly.
Because it doesn't matter if you want abortion, and it doesn't matter if I don't want abortion. You just need to vote for the person that has the same ideals as you, but you need to vote.
Yeah.
You got to get up. You got to get off your butt. You got to vote. And that's a lie. You can vote by mail. You don't even have to get off your butt. You just have to register and actually read the pamphlet that comes in the mail that says
that's the part that
this
they can't do.
particular person has the same ideals as me. This particular person has one ideal the same, but the rest aren't. They send you that pamphlet so that you can vet the people you're voting for with a small, 1 or 2 paragraphs of a breakdown of what their thoughts and ideals are, what their platform is.
And there's the issue right there.
No one knows how to read.
Nobody wants to do the homework.
And I feel weird when I say it, because it's like people look at me and go, you don't do nothing. It's like, no, I do. Well, you always say you vote for none of the above. Well, it's because I've read the pamphlet, and not one person in there is an honest person that has the same ideals as me, so I write in none of the above. Now, I'm just one person. I'm sure if 100 people did it, it still wouldn't matter. But if the entire voting district wrote none of the above, it would be just like Brewster's Millions. They'd have to have another election.
Yeah.
With new candidates, or the old candidates with new platforms. And the only problem with new old candidates with new platforms is, they're lying.
Yeah. Well, chances are, if they've been in politics for more than one season anyway, they're lying anyhow.
But see, when they bring out their platform, you're like, is that how they believe? But then they change their platform. You're like, yeah, now they're lying. So
Well,
were they lying before, or were they lying now? Yes.
Yeah.
Is the answer.
Yeah. All of the above.
Because people like and McConnell and Pelosi, and
There you go with that bad language again.
So now we got to make bleeps and bloops. Yeah, these people who a lot of times run unopposed. How do they run unopposed when they've been in so long and their policies are so bad?
Well, a lot of people go, well, there's no way in hell that I can compete because I can't do worse than that.
Now I believe that. But if the people voting in that district, he's the only choice, let's say McConnell, don't put his name on the ballot. Don't check the box. He can't win by default if nobody votes for him. If one person votes for him, he wins. But if no one votes for him, now we got to look at things different. But that's that's a huge pipe dream.
Well, yeah,
that is the pipe dream.
Yeah, because you're asking everybody,
In his
even in just
district.
one state, to do the exact same thing, and that ain't going to happen.
No,
Yeah.
no,
So,
that's because utopias just don't work. My utopia is completely different from your utopia, which is completely different from Jeffrey Dahmer's utopia, which is completely different from O.J. Simpson's utopia. No one, we can't agree on 3 things combined, so we can all be happy about something. It's everyone's just it's just When do we get tired of it?
well,
Never.
yeah. But I do believe that everybody could and should actually
Learn to read,
do-
take civics.
do their homework, okay, when it comes to voting. okay, do the due diligence that they should, and then register and vote and do it honestly and not go, well, I'm going to vote for him because I know nobody else is going to vote for this guy, even though I like this guy better. If you like this guy better, vote for him.
Yeah, and that's
Or
just
her.
it. You got it. Yeah, vote for the person that suits your ideals. It doesn't matter if only you and they are the ones with those ideals. If you are seeing eye to eye with someone that's in a political position, that's your vote. And I understand. Hey, well, that's the only guy that thinks like I think, so I'm just going to vote for him. That's why you vote for them.
Right. So, and that's another thing too that we need to point out. Okay, a good portion of the people, they see, they don't see somebody there that they agree with, and so they don't vote for anybody. They vote against somebody else, and that never does any good. Don't vote against somebody. Find somebody to vote for.
Or if there's absolutely no one, don't vote. Just don't. Or write in the name of the person you think is best, even if it's yourself, because that way you're voting.
Yeah.
That's why I would write none of the above, because I'm voting. Because George Carlin says, people say if you don't vote, you don't get to say. And George Carlin says, well, I did vote, so maybe I don't get to say. So there's two sides of that. So I do vote. I just didn't vote who you wanted me to vote for because you like them. And I'm still going to complain or stand up for the vote that I made. 9 times out of 10, I'm voting for none of the above, and I'm standing up for that because those people don't represent us.
Right. And
Those people. What do you mean, those people?
and if somebody tells you who they voted for and you don't like it, doesn't matter. Say good. Thank you for voting anyway.
You can say, oh, man, I didn't like that guy, but hey, at least we used our voice.
Yeah. Because that's what we need to do. I mean, be tolerant. Quit this intolerance and quit looking for things to be against and things that are going to be. What's the word I'm looking for?
No animosity.
Well, the things that are going to separate us, and actually go ahead and start being more tolerant towards somebody else's point of view.
Yeah.
And
we're
and just get along.
We're allowed to disagree.
Yeah, but look for the similarities, okay?
You don't even have to look for the similarities. Just be civil with each other.
There you go.
God, I hate the way you think. Let's go get a beer. Yeah. God, I hate the way you think. I'll see you tomorrow.
See, now there's the similarities because we both hate the way I think.
Or complete opposite. I love the way you think. Let's go get a beer. I love the way you think. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. See,
I like
you don't
the idea
have
of getting
to
the
be.
beer.
You don't have to be antagonistic. Oh my! I can't believe you voted for that guy. You're so fucking stupid. That doesn't solve anything.
And your point is?
Yeah, exactly. So what you do is, oh man, I can't believe you voted for that guy. What was it that you saw in him? Let's start a conversation.
Yeah.
Because maybe that person saw something that you missed. Maybe that person sees something you'd be like, well, I disagree because I see it from this side. Just have the conversation. Don't immediately start with division. Let's start with unification.
There you go. Now you're in the same ballpark as me.
Because if we are more united, then we have more power. Even if in our unification we have different ideals, we are still together in our quest to create better environment for us and our future generations.
And for our neighbor, for the one that thinks totally different than me, I mean, we can still, they can still be them and I can still be me and we can still get along and have a good world.
Yeah, whatever happened to, I don't like what you said, but I will defend your right to say it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that?
I don't know.
They phased it out.
Yeah.
Kind of like Coke Zero.
Tab.
See, Tab's still around. Pepsi
really?
Clear is gone. Yeah, Tab is still around.
I haven't seen Tab in years.
You got to kind of order it online. It's like Fanta Grape. You can't get it at the store.
Okay.
You got to order it off the internet.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever. And then there was what was the other one? Pepsi Free.
Yeah, but the Pepsi Clear, see that one that is the prime example. New Coke and Pepsi Clear are great examples of how voting with your dollar made a difference, because they busted out Pepsi Clear and no one wanted it. It's like the green ketchup. Everyone's like, oh man, it still tastes like ketchup. Does it look weird? But the Pepsi Clear, no one wanted it. It's not on the shelves. New Coke, no one wanted it. It's not on the shelves.
Yeah.
Voting with your dollar is very powerful. Very powerful. That's why I've been trying to get people to not, go to Exxon. And I picked Exxon because the guy that was doing the don't go to the thing for this weekend, this 4th of July weekend, happened to be standing in front of an Exxon sign. And it's easy to not buy gas or oil products from Exxon because 9 times out of 10 says ExxonMobil on the gas station, or it says ExxonMobil on the oil in the quart that you're going to buy. So it's like, I don't buy that. And I understand that they might have a mom and pop shop that's supplied by Exxon. And if you don't know, oops, I bought my gas at, oh my God, but you didn't buy the oil. Hey, it happens. And who knows if they're making plastic bags in your area, or the cans, or the plastic cups. You don't know, because oil is a product that we use in a lot of things. I mean,
petroleum is very
from
versatile.
your computer to your tires to the seats in your car. This petroleum's in everything.
Yeah,
it's never going away. But we as consumers have a very powerful voice in our wallets. We just need to understand that.
Yeah, well, that's how Trump got in. That's how Biden got in. That's how Pelosi got in. Well,
Trump paid his way in.
Yeah,
which proves you can buy a presidency.
Well, go ahead.
Don't look at me.
Don't
look at me.
Do a pitch for the.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're listening to this, hopefully you listened to the Vegetable Soup Show previously to this here on NWCZ Radio Channel 1. Of course, we're on Rubber Chicken Radio right now. But I do a podcast that usually runs ahead of this one now, because this one's rebroadcast after my show on Tuesdays on NWCZ Radio. From my show's at 6, so this show would be at 7. Give us a listen. Check it out.
Yeah, and if you're already here, thanks for listening.
Hey, man.
This is a product of Rubber Chicken Radio, so thank you guys for tuning in. That's about all the time that we do have. You can email Veg here at veg@rubberchickenradio.com.
That's VEG.
And you can email me, Gary at rubberchickenradio.com. And if you have a suggestion of something that you actually would like us to talk about or anything like that, then feel free. Suggestions at rubberchickenradio.com.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, listen to Rubber Chicken Radio. Okay? It's music 24/7 and with comedy. And on Thursdays at 5 o'clock, that's when you'll hear this podcast. So
I'm looking at you.
So anyhow, thanks for listening and watching.
And or watching.
Yeah.
And have a safe and insane 4th of July.
Again, that was You Must Be Joking.
Right?
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
We at Rubber Chicken Radio would like to thank NWCZ Radio, our sister station, for sharing their platform with us. We are excited to collaborate together and are very happy to be a small part of your station. Thank you for adding our podcast, You Must Be Joking, right? to your programming, and look forward to helping each other out. Thank you again, NWCZ Radio.